Okay, to remove the footrest, you have 3 10mm bolts to remove. 2 on the bottom, 1 on the right side. Go ahead and remove those. Go ahead and pull it out. And next, above there, you have a Phillips head screw to remove. Remove that. Next, you have another Phillips head screw to remove right here. Go ahead and remove that. Next, you have a hold down here you need to remove. You just stick a flathead screwdriver behind there, pry up on it while you're unscrewing the screw. It should pop off. Okay, after that popped off, you go ahead and pull your scuff plate up on the front. And you go ahead and pull that piece out. Okay, for our Defi boost gauge, we install our main unit right here on the right hand side. We run the wire all the way around the strut tower, under the power steering reservoir. We drilled a hole through the firewall under the brake booster. We'll go inside to show you that. Okay, here above the pedal, you see where the wire is coming in? We drilled a hole and installed a grommet there. Okay, we're going to bring our temperature sensor wire in through the grommet now. It'll be a little tight getting it through, but it will go through. Okay, our water temp sensor is coming behind the brake booster just like the boost gauge did. It's running along the strut tower here, underneath the reserve, along the wall here, and it's going to hook on to about middle ways right here. That's where the hose is going to go from the radiator to the inlet pipe on the motor. So we'll have plenty of room for that. Okay, now we're going to remove the stock oil pressure sending unit. Use some channel locks to break it loose. Okay, we're using the Defi oil pressure gauge. It comes with an adapter on it. You're not going to need it for the motor. You take that off. Install a little bit of RTV on your thread. Just one little dab on the side will be fine. After you have your stock oil pressure gauge out, screw that in. When you remove your stock gauge, your oil light might come on your dash, or it might not. Some people do, some people don't. Okay, now would be a good time to change your oil filter. And as far as your intake manifold bracket, if you want to install it back on, you can. We're not, because later when we go to change the oil again, it makes access to the oil filter a whole lot easier without it. But use your own judgment on that. Now we're going to connect our wire from our oil pressure sending unit gauge to our oil pressure sending unit sensor. And we're going to route it across the firewall. We're going to go on top of the tabs where the hard lines are. Keep it out of the way of the motor. And keep it away from the heat. We're going to bring it down over the driver's side of the brake booster and hook it. And run it through the firewall like we did the water temp and the boost. All three of those are going to run through that same grommet. Okay, now we're going to bring it through the grommet on the inside of the car here. Okay, our wires are coming in through that grommet there, coming over the top of the steering column, going through the bracket behind the gas pedal there, and running down through here behind the center console, and we're going to come out in the middle of the console right there. Okay, we've run our wire from our O2 sensor down there for the wideband on the downpipe, run up through here, and pull it tight so it does not sit on the downpipe and melt, and we're going to run it through this hole right here. You want to make sure you pull it tight so it's not sitting on the downpipe. Okay, this is where we have our boost controller mounted, and it has a wire that connects here. We're going to connect them together and route them. I'm going to go underneath the power steering reservoir, up alongside the strut tower. And we're going to end up going through the same hole that we went through with the wideband. I'm going to pull it tight as well. Okay, now we're going to cut an X in this grommet to run the wires through. It's probably best to do it on that left side there, so you have a little room to work with when you get inside the car. I'm going to do one wire at a time. Okay, we're going to bring the wire in now. We're here under the dash, and that's the grommet. You can see a screwdriver poking through. Now we're going to bring the wire through. Okay, yeah. Okay, now we're going to bring the other wire through. this is what the wires look like coming from the engine bay to the grommet. Okay, for our A-pillar pod, we're going to go ahead and start a screw in it. You can drill a pilot hole if you like. I'm going to take it up there, I'm going to press it up against the A-pillar, and then screw it into the A-pillar. And now that we got that finished, we can go ahead and take it back out to install our gauge. Okay, he's down here under the dash. We pulled the A-pillar off, and there's a little crack in the dash right here. We're going to feed this wire down through there, or you can use a coat hanger, either way. Feed it down through there, he's going to grab it, pull it down, and he's going to take the wire to it, and then we're going to pull it up that way.